Hey, each and everybody, and welcome to a Thor's Day edition of Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by a global heat wave. Be glad you're not in Texas. I'll tell you what. They haven't fixed the electric grid since it froze this winter, but at least nobody's gonna freeze to death. Okay, and now here's a song. I'm gonna turn it on. We're gonna give you the power. It's coming down the line, strong as it can be, through the courtesy of the electric company. The electric company. The electric company. Okay, and now here they are, your venerable host, Carlos Karim Wyndham. Hey, what's going on, Kylu? We see you there. We see you there. Little glockenspiel, so you know it's real. Yeah, just I don't know. Much love to you, Raven. How you doing? Great to see you here as well. I hope that you have a warm bevy. I got a fresh cup of fucks. I know I'm always talking about how I don't give a fuck because I don't have any fucks, right? And I talked about how it wasn't even there was a fucks deficit because it was like not even like an austerity measure. That I've reached an age that I just had zero fucks at all to give. I thought, but some things came up, and evidently I give a fuck. Found them when we were talking in pre-production today. Myself and Joshua and producer Tracy about what we might do. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Love seeing folks in the chats with each other. We will be expanding our project in the not too distant future. I'm hoping by maybe late summer, early fall, and expanding to a Smoke and Mirrors podcast to accompany the live stream. Because many of the folk who end up with in conversations with us here under the philosopher's tree often then rebroadcast links and say that they were on the podcast. But I've never we've never had a podcast we've never had a podcast, y'all. So so we're gonna fix it. Gonna fix it. Like the shirt. Got a whale of a tale to tell your friends, a whale of a tale or two. Okay, that is more than enough singing for the day. Hey, what we're doing right here, this is called Smoke and Mirrors. It's a thing that we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoons at 4:20 p.m. in the Pacific time. I believe we are PST right now. I do not know that for sure because I don't know what the difference is between standard and meridian time. Anyway, hey, you could support it. You're doing it now. How? Watching. You know what else you could do? You could drop 5 on it. I'm going to say very quickly that those who have been dropping 5 on it, that area is looking dry. Feel free to drop 5 on it. Feel free to drop 1 on it. Feel free to drop a buck. Chuck in a buck. That's not my saying. I can't say that one. Drop 5 on. That's not my saying either. Give us some money at Venmo at Carlos Wyndham, Cash App at $ CK Wyndham, PayPal /me dot CK Wyndham. And while that has been looking a little bit dry, you know what has been looking very wet? Is the Patreon has been looking very wop, 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 wop. Oh, God, I wish I hadn't started that. Anyway, yuck. It's yum, but yuck that I brought it up. Let's just keep moving, please. Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for the comedy. That is for the culture. That is for the blackness. And once again, shout out to our two most recent patrons, Alice, Raven. There they went, and there they go. And here's another thing. Thing that is happening on Saturday. Is it Saturday? No, it's Sunday. I know that. Non-binary parent with who's often perceived as male day. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a show for Black and Proud. You should check it out. It's going to be on Facebook. I'm hosting. Guess what? So many brilliant comedians. We got Carol Washington. We got D'Lo. We got Scott Dobin. We got Calvin Cato. And do you know what? Dahlia DeLu Bell. Dahlia DeLu Bell, my partner in crime on the comedy circuit, is also going to be there. She will be doing a full set. I will not. I will be hosting. I don't know why I had shouty host voice. I think it's because when you're not on screen, it feels like you're far away. Okay. What? What? A new show. Yup. What? From the two assholes who brought you about something, we bring you The Aftermath. It's live comedy and music for the apocalypse. Guess who's going to be there? Saltwater on the decks. Mohamed. What? Oh, you see. Okay, I just got confused. I'm sorry. Mohamed El Shiki is going to be there as well. And so is Wendy Weiss. This is going to be some shit. I'm going to be there. Dolly is going to be there. We're going to be there. Mohamed's going to be there. Saltwater's going to be there. Wendy's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Dolly's going to be there. It's live comedy. It's music. It's for the apocalypse. The ship's going down. So we're doing our job. We're standing on the deck with fiddles of love. $10. It's 9 p.m. It's Alberta Street Pub. The information were on the screen. And the link is in the chats via producer Tracy for both of those shows. Thank you very much. And this is one of those moments that I'm realizing that when we move to podcasts, so let's practice, I'm going to have said that this will be happening last Wednesdays of the month, Alberta Street Pub, 1036 Northeast Alberta. Where? Portland, Oregon. That's where we ended up. So we're making comedy. Hey, we've got quite a show today. I don't say that often when I know I'm going to be sat here by myself. But it's true. A couple of things. A few things. All to do with taste and color and theater and what else? I don't know. Isn't that enough for you? You know, and I want to say in advance, I'm sorry. But also you know what live stream you tuned into. So also it's kind of your fault. That what a bummer some of this might be. And for you, not because you got to think about it beforehand, or because you and producer Tracy or you and Joshua had to do any pre-production on it. No. I did that for you for free. I did that. No, because of the thinks that are going to come from my think hole out of my mouth hole and into your ear holes, and then they're going to crawl around your think hole and you chose that. You chose that. Hey, seriously, have a warm bevy. Mm, or a cold one. So a lot of it, I don't know when you're watching this, because by the time these things are done running, like 500 people have looked at it sometimes, and usually on the first run, it's like, oh, 15, 20, three people. I don't know. I'm not going to look. I don't like to. But what is true is that if you watch this in lieu of or in addition to any of your late night faves, what you know is that all of the late night faves have ice cream. This is Stephen Colbert has one, and one of the Jimmys. But I think both of the Jimmys have ice creams from Ben and Jerry, right? The guys who do all the BLM stuff, and they mean it. They mean it. I worked in at a camp near Burlington, Vermont, and so I got to go to the original Ben and Jerry's and have some of the ice creams like 30 years ago. And in all of that, they've not somehow come around to sponsoring this thing that four people watch. So I thought I would just choose some ice creams for a while that haven't got yet a late night or talk sponsor. I think we can call this Talk Talk. I think safely we can call this Talk Talk. So first of all, I would like to introduce you to Ben and Jerry's flavor that I'm very excited to get down with right now. This is Netflix and chilled. Ben and Jerry's Netflix and chilled. Hmm. Okay. So it also could it could be called I guess Ben and Jerry's. Hey, do you want to come over and fuck? Ben and Jerry's pint full of fuck goo. Netflix and chilled. All right. Peanut butter ice cream. Ugh. Oh dear God, the peanut butter flavor is the ice cream itself. All right. With sweet and salty pretzel swirls. What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean there's pretzels in it? And fudge brownies. Huh. Huh. Okay. Well, it might get us a Netflix special. So let's God, that sounds gross. Let's try. Hmm. All right, let's try some Netflix and chilled. Make sure we get a scoop here with all the. Oh boy. Okay. All the good stuff. Ugh. Get some brownie in there. Get some brownie in there. Some pretzel swirl. And that peanut butter ific peanut butter ice cream. Never heard of that. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Mm-mm. Oh, fuck you. Okay. Hmm. Uh, hey, Joshua, come take this away, please. What is disgusting? No. Uh-uh. I mean, new from thank you. New from Ben and Jerry's. Netflix and chilled. Mm. It's kind of an appropriate name. That sort of tastes like you walked in the stench of a room right after somebody was fucking on the couch. It's all in my mouth now. Fuck. So, hey, feel free to reach out and sponsor the show. Uh, Smoke and Mirrors, ccb at gmail.com. Uh, okay. Gross. All right. Today, oh, wow. That is really gross. Mm. It doesn't have to have peanut butter in it. When we design the ice cream for Smoke and Mirrors, let's just not put any peanut butter in it. Peanut butter ice cream, dog. Mm-mm. Okay. Hey. Theater corner. Sorry about the squeak in this. All right. There we go. Theater corner. I almost did a Lincoln joke just right there, but you know what? That's so hack. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna keep it moving. Let's talk about theater and my love of theater, and I love theater. I love theater. I am from theater. I spell theater with an R-E. I don't do it pretentiously. It's how I was taught. I can't fix it now. I grew up watching theater. I've seen Cats no fewer than 4 or 5 times. I saw Les Miserables on Broadway. I saw Fences on Broadway. I saw Hamilton no fewer than 3 times. And I love theater. I'm of theater. I'm a trained thespian. I am in a thespian troupe. I'm in a thespian troupe in Boulder, Colorado. I am in thespian troupe. I think it is. I've said the number a bunch of times and it's wrong every time. 3758. Why not? Sure. Look it up. I don't know. Oh wow! Somebody's gonna look it up and then find out the real number, and then I'm gonna get canceled. It's like 2735. I don't know what it is. Anyway, theater's great. Let's talk theater stuff. It's theater corner, theater corner, theater corner. Here we are at theater corner doing some theater. Hey, happy birthday from theater corner to Jello Biafra, who is 63 years old today. Jello Biafra, lead singer of Dead Kennedys, and I share in common that we sat in the theater corner. We both sat in the classrooms and in the theater room of director Van Alessandro, who was just a little bit molesty, at Fairview High School in Boulder, Colorado. We also both went to Baseline Junior High. Trained thespian and hater of Trump, lover of punk rock music, maker of classics, iconoclast is he, and arguably the second most important voice of the top three from Boulder, Colorado. I would include Jello Biafra, very humbly, myself, and after that, astronaut Scott Carpenter, after whom there's a park named, in which I more than once sat naked and maybe did the sex. Hey, Rent is a musical. Here's corner of theater. Rent. I know the truth that you are gone. Something but today I'm not paying no more rent. I know the truth. I love this. I love Rent. I love Rent. Rent is one of my favorite musicals. Rent is one of my favorite musicals because I have loved this musical since it was called La Boheme, and it was just an opera about the plague and the revolution, the French Revolution. Yeah, and that's where the song in Rent, La Vie Boheme, and mucho masturbation. Dun, dun, dun. That's that. So that song, right, was the tip of the hat, if you will, to the original opera. And they moved the idea. They switched it from being about the plague killing everyone during this horrible time of poverty to being about AIDS uh, killing everyone during a horrible time of poverty in New York. Now, like many plays, it does have its modern day critics. One of the things that is true about it is that it was a play that was written, presented, and won many, 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 many awards for the white playwriters who went on. Pardon me, went on to have massive. You know what that was? That was a chunk of Netflix and chill coming back up. It's like when you get a pube stuck in the back of your throat. That kind of. I think you're on the uvula. Okay, so Rent. So a couple of white guys basically ended up being the ones to profit the most off of this play. I will say that every actor who has ever been in it said that it changed their life. It is the reason that we have to know who Taye Diggs it is. The reason that we had to hear John Travolta butcher Mazel Tov Menzel's name at the Oscars, and the reason that all of our children drilled into our heads the songs from Frozen. Also, too, though, it was the first serious discussion of AIDS in a musical form. It wasn't quite Angels in America, but it is a thing. And of course, there are the class questions about why at least the kids who have parents who would pay the rent don't want to just fucking take the money and pay the rent. But those rich kids did go on to put a play on Broadway with about pores. Broadway, which is inaccessible to the pores. Hey, The Heights is on the HBO there. I said the other day that hey, Jimmy Smits is in The Heights and he's Dominican and go watch it. It's gonna be great. And then guess what? It's not. It is. It is and it's okay. So look, colorism. Okay, so first of all, is that I cried a lot. I cried a lot. I am a sucker for a Lin Manuel Miranda rap opera situation. Okay, because you're coming with the things and you're doing another doing and you're coming when you're doing the seven and then the more. You know, it's so corny. It's delicious. I love corn. More butter for the corn. Okay, so that is not the critique. The story of one family, of a family story, his family story. Gorge. Adapting from stage what seems to be almost impossible to adapt given the way that the reveal at the end happens, which I'm not going to tell you what it is in case you also are a musicals girl. The staging, they pulled it off. Anthony Ramos is amazing. He was also in Hamilton from Lin Manuel Miranda, which also which was good. Also too, stage and screens Lin Manuel Miranda. He goes this way. Sorry. Now I say stage and screens Lin Manuel Miranda because I've heard him introduce himself that way a bunch. And that is it's pretentious. It's silly. It's silly. But anyway, he's very talented and he writes stuff. He writes stuff. So, and it's good sometimes. It goes, when you go home and Eliza. I mean, just amazing, amazing stuff. Also, too, Washington Heights, the neighborhood for which on which the Heights is based, is yeah, Ray. It's a black neighborhood predominantly. It is a Spanish speaking area of New York. Very Spanish speaking, very Dominican, very Boricuen, very Haitian. So there's some French spoken as well, but very, 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 very heavily Spanish, to the degree that, as was said on Tea with Queen and Jay this week, please do listen. Queen and Jay, both of whom have been here on Smoke and Mirrors with us under the Philosopher's Tree, that should either of them be walking through the Heights at any given point, everyone is going to assume that they both speak Spanish, because everyone is going to assume that everyone in that area speaks Spanish. It's right next to Harlem. Spanish Harlem. It's Harlem still. It's black. It's black. And when also too, here's another thing, is that we weren't no black people, Spanish speaking or otherwise, very few appeared in the musical about the black neighborhood. It's a little like writing a musical called The Town and it being solely about Filipinos. There are a grip of Filipinos in Oakland. It's a large community. Jingletown is a very specific part of it, even. But if you were gonna write a musical and you called it The Town, and then it was only about the Filipino and the Pinoy community, then what the fuck is happening? And they don't know anybody black, but they're rapping? How did that happen? Doesn't make sense. Why are they using any black idioms then? Or music? Or rhythms? Why? Hi, would you do that if you're not one of us and we're not one of you? Oh, also, if you're casting Latinx people as Dominicans, maybe cast Dominicans as Dominicans instead of just going all across the Latinx diaspora and just picking anyone you would get. Here's a Mexican, here's a Puerto Rican, here's a Dominican, here's somebody from Ecuador, and you're all Dominicans now. Fuck you. That's the same shit that America does to us. We're all Mexican to Americans. You're Mexican, Lin-Manuel Miranda, as far as fucking as America's concerned. We're all Mexican. Anybody brown who speaks a little bit of Spanish, we're all called Mexican, motherfucker. You're not, I'm Mexican. You're not Mexican. I'm Mexican. And I'm not even Mexican. I'm from fucking here. I'm from here before, when New Mexico was Mexico. I'm from there. Fuck you. I mean, what I meant, hold on, wait, no, I want to be cast in what? Do you know what? Listen, again, it's not entirely his doing, because the director was the director, John M. Chu from Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, so, but that also said is that there was a lot of critique about the Crazy Rich Asians, because while they were crazy, and they were certainly rich, and from everything that I could tell watching the film, they were absolutely Asian. They were also very light-skinned. And the only dark-skinned Asians in the movie were servants and stuff. And also these complaints were all already surfaced when there was just previews. There was like, this is not new shit, and then the movie was postponed, and then it came back out, and like I guess nobody was in brown face or blackface, so I guess that's. I'm not going to say that's good. Okay, I'm going to say okay. That's Anthony Ramos. He's on the original soundtrack recording for Hamilton as well. He's quite a singer, quite a singer. He made a whole album. He's got an incredible voice, and I do not. I listened to three of the songs. I dare you to listen to the whole album. I dare ya. The woman with whom he's dancing, who played his Dominican lover, is Mexican. Is Mexican. He's Borican, I think. He might be Dominican. Black people with freckles are often thought to be. Although my brother, who's again New Mexican, black New Mexicans, is black guy with freckles. I'm a black guy with freckles. Maybe I'm Anthony Ramos. If I am Anthony Ramos, I should be darker if I'm going to be cast in the Heights. I want to put that out because here's why. Is what we're saying is that do you see this transatlantic slave trade here happening? Again, your fault. You knew what show you were watching. You did this to yourself. You see this transatlantic slave trade, and do you see how on this transatlantic it swoops up like this, and it's thick and girthy, coming from the coasts of Africa into the Americas. It's like thick and veinous and girthy like that, and it's coming from those shores into the native shores. All of that was part of a transatlantic slave trade to the Americas. Americas. You'll see that a lot of the Americas are right here, way up there. Way up there is where way up there. Sorry, is where you're going to find your United States is. Way down here, though, this is the America. Now, way up here, where you're finding United States is, you're going to see there's a little like a little of like, look, just see that tiny that didn't that little like post jizz kind of drop off happened in 1619. Okay, so like there were many hundreds of years of trade happening of Africans, again, into slavery across the coast of the America. Why? Well, the same reason that if you live in an area where there's a bay, it is called a port town. There's a port there. If you live in a bay, by the bay, any bay. Why? Like a land of ports, like Portland. Why would that be true? Well, because you can ship stuff there. Oh, and if you can ship stuff there and you can capture people and make them do your work for free, well, then great. And after you've a few to up here, after that's been going on all over what is now known as Latin America. It's been going on all over Latin America. Why has it been going on all over Latin America? Because the whole idea of the conquest coming from Europe was to get all, and Spain and Portugal, was to get all of the gold, all of the silver, except that, you know what? Guess what? There wasn't that much gold or that much silver after all. So you know what they had to do? They had to turn to crops. Well, what did they do? They turned to indigo. They turned to tobacco. They turned to cotton. It wasn't until the Americas that they actually turned to chattel slavery and really started imprisoning people and then making the children of the enslaved Africans, first the men, the property of slave owners. And this went on for hundreds of years, and across these Americas. And so also, do you know, here's the other part. Okay. The idea that Dominicans would move into the heights but that they would not be phenotypically recognized as black, it negates other just like fact information, right? Like for instance, the Haiti and the Dominican Republic are one island. It's a dinky island that is one island on which onto which there were placed just a bunch of niggas. How come? For slavery purposes. That's why. And they were all there. Why would you not want to be associated with the Haitians if you're a Dominican, though? Well, all I can think to do is to turn to history and think about the fact. Look, come on. Come on. This is what people look like there. So what happened? All of a sudden you get to the United States and then you're light skinned with freckles and curly hair? I don't think so. That doesn't make any sense. So how could it be that so many people would be denying the idea that they're black and or painting themselves as anything other than black if they happen to be from the DR? Could it be racism? Could it be born of the idea that black folks would have been treated worse than light-skinned black folk? Why would that have happened? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a rebellion that was led by Toussaint that was successful, wherein the French got their asses handed to them by the Haitians. Maybe that's why we talk shit about voodoo. Maybe that's why it's thought of as a creepy fucking mystical place, because it's the one place in all of the Caribbean that black people were like, guess what? Go fuck yourself. I'll chop your goddamn head off. And while this is a very saintly picture of the guy Toussaint, and we think it's something very cute, this is not the image that everybody said when they think of the Haitian Revolution. They also think of this one. And white people certainly don't like that idea. Not in the United States, not in the Dominican Republic, not anywhere across the globe. This is the nightmare. This is the reason that they did that stupid fucking movie, Birth of a Nation, and moving the idea from docile, happy slaves who just want to stay with massa to slaves who will rebel and put a foot up in your fucking... This is the reason that they were cutting off hands and feet to make sure that we could not drum, we would not dance, because the revolution was called for by drum. This is why the whole Kunta Kinte scene with the shit with the feet, cutting off your feet like Kunta Kinte, and then you're defeated. That was a line from Common. He was so good once. Why is he so bad now? Listening to him, watching him act is like watching a sentient styrofoam cup. How did it come to life, first of all, and why does it make that noise, and why is it everywhere I go? It's never going to leave the earth. Anyway, this might be part of the reason that in the Americas, it's not thought of highly to be Haitian. It's thought of to be very black. And if you're a black Dominican and could be mistaken for Haitian, boy, wouldn't that be a problem if, in fact, you were trying to get the privileges associated with whiteness and aspirationalism that might be associated if you had lighter skin and were a lighter skin Latino. Even if you were even lighter than that, and maybe you were from Puerto Rico, or your pop was from Puerto Rico, but was heavily involved in the politics of New York. And then you had the opportunity to go to a lot of art schools and stuff like that. And then you started writing plays and stuff like that. Hamilton was dope. Y'all saw it? If you didn't see it, the hype is real. The shit is dope. It's dope. My guy David Diggs, who, again, if you've been here under the Philosopher's Tree, you know me and Paul know David. That's my dude. Let me tell you something. That's a walking thirst trap, my nigga. This shit is dope. Be rapping and shit. Hamilton singing his Eliza. Loved it. I loved it. Really loved it. You know, I started doing a little analysis of it though too, because I did read the book upon which it was based. And what I realized is that Hamilton is essentially an aspirationalist exaltation of a 14-year-old slave trader who, because he came from stock, was thought to be the hope for Puerto Rico, given an opportunity to come on up. Not from Puerto Rico. Which island was he from? I'm just thinking of Lin-Manuel Miranda now, mixing them up. He did too. Came up here, became New Yorican, Amsterdam based, really wanted to keep the presidency right around that area. And, you know, DC did it over there, moved, made some compromises, did the things, kept his slaves. There was a touch of it. They did touch on the topic of blackness for like half a second when Thomas Jefferson gave a line to Sally Heming. And I kept in my heart of hearts believing that it was a cakewalk and a call for revolution, like Jimmy Crack Corn, right? Like one of those sorts of songs that was sung to an about master about, oh, well, that master over there is fucked up, but you're the shit. But it's a way to then talk shit about your master, right? A cakewalk was when folks would get fancy in their the clothes of their slavers and show everybody what they how they and white people walk like this, and that kind of comedy was sort of born from that. And so I thought this was sort of that until the second or third time I saw it, and kept thinking about it, and it's amazing. More Tonys for everybody. It's also really, really weirdly pro-white, more than it is explicitly anti-black, but in a system of white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, pro-whiteness is in fact, implicit pro-whiteness is in fact explicitly anti-black in that Venn diagram, because you can't separate one from the other. It gets messy. Also, all of the women in the show, and I've seen it with multiple casts, are always light-skinned, mixed women. This is where your Asian cast starts showing up. Your Asian lead cast members start showing up here. They're very clear. He's very clear. He does not want white people in these roles. But man, white adjacency is a plus for certain. You know, and the other thing I noticed in every cast I've seen is that the antagonist Burr is always dark skinned black man, always dark skinned black man, and Hamilton is always as fair as a brown person can be, and technically be considered brown, which is really just, you know, sort of white people's way to let you know you're not one of them. You know what I'm saying? Does that kind of make sense? Like, you're not white, but you're certainly not one of them. But the whole point is that you're not black, right? Which again is the whole point of why you know, of being a Dominican and saying, well, I'm not black, or being from the Caribbean and saying I'm not black, or being a black Puerto Rican and saying, well, I'm not black, I'm Puerto Rican. Well, you can't. That doesn't make any sense. And if you're not black and you move and live in a world that is born of a binary of black and white, and you are moving to separate yourself from black, knowing that if you are in black, there are punishments there to be had, then that means you are moving toward, because words mean things. See what I'm saying? That sucks. This is a bummer. This is not Alexander Hamilton. That shit was dope. Because I'm the AL, the EX, the AN, the D, the ER, the we are, the... Come on now. Come on. David is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the fastest lyrics ever delivered on a Broadway stage. So, hey, guess what happened though? Is Rita Moreno decided that it would be a good idea to go on Stephen Colbert and defend the anti-Blackness of the Heights, the anti-Blackness for which Lin Manuel Miranda had apologized after being called to the carpet. Although his cast members did not, in fact, many of them doubled down, saying they just cast the best actor, which is what they used to say all the time when your girl could not get any parts. And maybe why she wasn't cast as Dracula, even though she was much, much better than her competition who did get the lead role in the senior play. All right.
What are you cast as?
Huh?
What are you cast as?
A lab technician.
What?
A janitor. A janitor. Fuck off. So yeah, so she got up on Colbert and defended the fucked up anti-Blackness of the whole situation. It's really gross. You can see it on YouTube if you want. Rita Moreno, who of course began her journey into white acceptance with West Side Story, where she played a Borican and was one of the only Borican to play Borican, and spoke with a ridiculous accent that was not actually Puerto Rican, first or second generation, but was a white representation of what a Puerto Rican accent might sound like, much like when you can tell that a black director told a white director told a black actor to black it up a little bit. So she was clearly asked to spick it up a little bit. And so, gosh, you know what's in my head right now? That joke from when we were kids about what the most racist garden tool in the world is. It's a sprinkler because it's always on your lawn going nigga, 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 spick, 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 nigga, 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 spick, 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 spick. I'm going to go back to Facebook jail for this. Anyway, Rita Moreno got famous for doing West Side Story, which was Romeo and Juliet, right? Because, again, everything is adapted. Nothing is new. Of course, this is the thing that made Natalie Wood the absolutely not Latinx actress, globally famous, as she did brownface and spoke with an even worse fake Borican accent. And definitely was not murdered by her husband, Robert Wagner, and Christopher Walken on a boat in some weird shit that is still a mystery, but her kids are defending on Netflix. That's not. Oh, she, Rita, then came back today to sort of apologize for what she said. She then said that she was disappointed in herself for saying what she said, which sounds a little bit like she was disappointed in herself for not keeping the racism tucked deep on the inside. Good, and please, also not an apology. Very mannish and again very white. I don't want to assume that it is simply this strange Borican hyper nationalism that ignores the Africano and very African roots of Puerto Rican everything, uh, that led her to, in anti pride, decide that she had to defend Lin Manuel Miranda after he was called to the carpet. What is clear is that none of these people has publicists. None of these people has publicists. Uh, it's uh, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. Uh, don't love it. Hey, you know what though? I don't think it is the Puerto Rican thing. As I think back, Rita Moreno was on the original Electric Company, right? She was the one who called out at the very beginning of the show, "Hey, you guys!" And then they would sing that song, the one about the power and the station and how you were going to get it, and they were going to plug it into you. The children's show, starring Rita Moreno and also Morgan Freeman was on that from Seven, from the horror film Seven, and Bill Cosby, seen here disguising himself so that he would be able to more effectively deliver roofies backstage. Oh, yeah, Lin Manuel Miranda was also on the Electric Company. Huh. Yeah, they rebooted it in the 2020s, and they got rid of mostly all of the older cast. The oldest you could be was about like 30, and he would uh, strangely beatbox on there. Um, I think it's big. I think it's Big Electric Company. I think that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. How did that get stuck in my mouth? Probably because I was fucking off the punchline for the whole segment. That's probably what it is. Hey, I think it's Big Electric Company. Ha. uh, all right. Well, anyway, uh, Lin Manuel Miranda's The Heights is an emotional roller coaster. It's wildly emotionally manipulative. It will rip tears out of you. They have singers who hit the notes exactly as they were designed to. They will resonate with you in a way if you like that little rap opera thing. It's glorious. Seeing Jimmy Smits being allowed to actually play his ethnicity as a Dominicano is wonderful. Shout out to Bad Dominicana for having brought all of these issues to the table all over Twitter, and for Queen and Jay for continuing this discussion that they had begun quite some time ago on their show, and they're doing it again this week. Do check those out. I want to offer something else too to get the taste of all of that out of your mouth, and to feel a little better about having enjoyed a musical at all. Again, I love theater. Theater corner is that Rent. What's this got to do with Rent? Well, Rent again, La Vie Boheme, right? Like from the beginning of the whole thing. Hold on. Join me. It'll all come back to you. Rent is a musical again, based on La Vie Boheme. Guess what? It went to Cuba. Obama loved musicals, right? So remember when he brought Hamilton to the White House? Guess what else he did during the lifting of as many of the embargoes as he did? Again, all meant to exploit the people in the land and figure out a way to create hotels since the Castro family was dying. Uh, Cuba allowed American musical on the land for the first time, and when they did, they somehow Rent got snuck in, and it was directed by the person who had played Angel in the first original production on the original cast recording, and it was done with an entirely Cubano cast in Havana, and it was goddamn amazing watching the culture clash of what it is to know that you're in a country where everybody is musically trained. Yet I need people who are going to try to sing rock opera style, right? In this very American story that I'm going to make relevant to you because it's a very American story as it was retold from the French Revolution. So now we're going to bring this into Cuba, bring this into the revolution, and we're going to also watch all of the dynamics at play with the again the man who played Angel is himself Cubano. His mother is a refugee. And so looking at the dynamics between them and then watching the actual cast do the thing of like, hey, let's all get together and we'll build a stage and we're gonna sing the songs and we're gonna make it and it's gonna be delicious and wonderful. Oh my God, so goddamn theater. It is the shit. It's called Revolution Rent. I was about to say it in Spanish. There's no reason. That's not what it's called. It's called Revolution Rent. It is currently available if you have the means on HBO, whatever it's called now. Plus Max. Max. I think we're on Max. HBO Max. Revolution Rent. Come on. This felt like theater. This felt like when I was a kid and I used to like get the couches and circle everybody up in the basement and make them watch me dance the entire off the wall album from Michael Jackson beginning to end. Why? Because I was groomed by that rapist, as were all of us. Shaman. But yeah, and then led to children's theater, led to becoming a thespian eventually. This feels like that kind of experience. If you love theater, if you are a theater girl and you want to have some theater, the Spanish is just in it. The Spanish is just in it. They go back and forth. It's wonderful. The entire play was done in Spanish. If you know the play, you're going to remember the songs. And it is glorious. Glorious time. I cried. Oh my God, so much. What? You did? Haven't I seen you cry on the show before? Yes, you have. Shut up. God. Self-conscious always gets all up in that, doesn't it? Anyway, check that out. It'll wash out the taste of all of the anti-Blackness being offered by Lin-Manuel Miranda and by Rito Moreno. And shout out to both of them for apologizing and then trying to straighten it out too. I will say that an apology in the absence of accountability is not, though, actually reparations. That is just, that's just gaslighting. That's not, because it doesn't fix anything. And then you're both going to get another chance to do it again, and based on your track records, you're going to keep being racist. Hey, speaking of West Side Story, Steven Spielberg is bringing it back. I want to live in America. I want to be in America. I want to be in America. This song's so racist, I don't know why. You would do that. Please don't do that. I mean, even if you cast it, why would what? Okay, so but who the fuck are you in the story, Steven Spielberg? I don't get it. Who do you like? Which one are you? Are you Tony? Do you think you're Tony? Tony, Tony, Tony. I told you I grew up in I know this play. Don't do this. This shouldn't happen. Steven Steven Spielberg bringing you West Side Story, brought to you by the director of E.T. and The Color Purple, Steven Spielberg. The reason that there had to be a makeup Oscar for Whoopi Goldberg, who should have won the Oscar for this role, but won it playing a coon in a Patrick Swayze movie. She went on to use her power, though. Let's be honest. She fucked Ted Danson and then laughed at his jokes wearing blackface at the Friars Club roast in the 80s. So uh, that happened. Theater corner! Yay! I love drama. Theater corner. Open your heart. I'll be your castle. If you would let me, I'll live in your. Hey, this here, right here, is an album that I'm on. Why? Because I am un rapero, un MC, a brother Los. You can tell that that is a name that I've had for quite some time. But it is still my name when I'm un rapero on a record. How come? Because that's how I'm able to get my ASCAP points, man. Wallace is the album, and we ride. No, Wallace is the group, and we ride is the album. That's what I meant to say from a mouth hole. Check it out on Bandcamp. It's there in the chats. Why? Because producer Tracy put it there. Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't even have the chance to go and buy that album right now. Right now. Hey, this has been another Smoke and Mirrors. Thank you so much for joining us today. Check us out if you want to, all the places, because that's what you do. That's how you get NPR famous. Check us out at the check us out at the Instagram, Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is Comedy, Culture, and Blackness. You can check us out at the Twitter Caballo Negrito, Twitter at Caballo Negrito. For the monolingual amongst you, that translates to the power grid in Texas is still fucked off. Twitter at Caballo Negrito. Twitter at the power grid in Texas is still fucked off. Do you have a theory, a conspiracy, thought, a guest suggestion, a book, an author, anything you'd like to write to us, a complaint, send any of a correction, send any of those to smokeandmirrorsccb@gmail.com, smokeandmirrorsccb@gmail.com. Why would you do that? Well, because you're still sitting here watching the credits of this thing that is produced and hosted by myself, God knows Kareem Whittam. This is also produced by the one and only Tracy Tatamy. Come on, you ain't gonna get it produced no better than that. Intern Joshua doing all the placements, looking for the pictures, helping with the show production, and also going to be on post-production because I am the fuck out of here. Hey, everybody. That means that we just did a show. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Please do get the mask. Please do. Where I know that wasn't a word. I'm going to say it again. Hey, everybody. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Please do get the vax. Please do wear a mask. And we would love to see you back here on Tuesday. Why? Because we love you. Okay, that's Thursday. Bye bye. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I might not. Hold on. Come back. I might. That's not the one. Can you bring the other scene, Joshua? Because this is not about theater. This is just. No, it's not. What are we doing? What are you just trying to embarrass Whoopi? Is that what it is? Dude, my dude. Seriously. Thank you. Is that I might not be here next week. I just want to be clear. And if I'm not, it's not a punishment. it's for reasons. And also, if you're still here, as is Alice, then you know that there may be some smoke and mirrors, and there may not. And if you are not here, like all of the people who already excused themselves before the bell rang, then then we'll see. But either way, I will see you soon. Hey, thanks so much. And now we're done. Oh, whatever show you do? What are you talking about? There's like over 200 shows in YouTube. Go watch one that you didn't see yet. There's a bunch, and some of them are good. I'm sure. 200 shots. At least one or two of them got to be good. Go check them out. Thanks for the shout outs, the Raven, Alice, everybody. Love you too, and hopefully, maybe we'll see you next week, and maybe we won't. I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, bye, bye.